Relief? No, I feel resentment. If I were a Democrat, I'd feel relief. As a citizen, I feel, who are these people? First of all, I say she'd been lying to us for years about the fitness of Joseph Biden. She knew. Secondly, I say, who's running the government? Who's running the country? Who are these people, these shadowy forces?
Do you feel it at all?
Feel what?
That this is better than what was before? Or do you feel that she's a usurper?
Well, I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not rooting for the Democrats. I'm not saying I'm endorsing Trump. I'm not endorsing Trump, but I'm not enthused about the Democratic thing. Despise is too strong. Distrust is definitely appropriate, though. And I think, so Kamala Harris won't sit for an interview. She won't tell us what she'd do when she becomes president. She's scripted. She's teleprompted. She's cultivated. It's managed. She was foisted on us. Nobody voted for her in this role. She was manufactured and put in front of us, and we were made to take it. Now, if I were a partisan Democrat, I would feel relieved that Biden was replaced because he was clearly unfit to serve a second term as president, and he wasn't going to be able to hide that from the voters. And Trump, as problematic, I can say that much. Trump is a problematic candidate, to be sure. I'm not a Republican either, but if I were a Republican, I would lament the fact that we don't have a better candidate because, in fact, I think the Democrats are eminently defeatable. And Trump may yet win. It's going to be close. But Kamala Harris has definitely changed the script on that. But relief? No, I feel resentment. If I were a Democrat, I'd feel relief. As a citizen, I feel, who are these people? First of all, I say she'd been lying to us for years about the fitness of Joseph Biden. She knew. Secondly, I say, who's running the government? Who's running the country? Who are these people, these shadowy forces? Big donors basically communicate that their super PACs are not going to be ponying up money for the Democratic candidate if it's Joseph Biden because he can't win. And in that way, induce heavy-hitting politicians like Barack Hussein Obama or Nancy Pelosi to whisper in Biden's ear, we'll fucking jack you up, man, unless you make the right decision for the country. You heard of the 25th Amendment? And this doddering, that's the way we used to talk in my neighborhood. So no, I can't be too joyful, although I am respectful of the political efficacy of the machine, which righted itself before its candidate, Joseph Biden, went down to defeat the Democratic machine, and which has put Kamala Harris in our place. And I told you my analysis of it was they had to put her in our by the non-democratic means because she wouldn't have survived an actual competition for the nomination that had her going up against the Josh Shapiros and the Gavin Newsoms and the Gretchen Whitmers of the world. She wasn't going to prevail in that contest. And if she didn't prevail, the race mongers would have had a fit. Black woman, denied her natural secession rights.
Oh, Lord.
And so now you got a civil war worse than the civil war that you've got because there are a few people in the Democratic Party who sympathize with the Palestinians. Those people are easily dealt with. You wouldn't be able to so easily deal with the people who would been out of shape about Kamala Harris not being afforded the rights she was entitled to as the second in command.
Oh, Glenn, you just, go ahead. You're not done?
I'm sorry, I did what?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you didn't interrupt. I was done.
You just reminded me of something and talk about thinking about, where you're going over the next year and what matters to you. I just remembered something. If she wins, we're in for another 4 years of every time somebody criticizes her, it's about racism. And you have to decide whether you think it is or if you think it isn't. And you have all these smart people with 3 names hating you if you say that it isn't. It's going to be that. Remember that with Obama, especially for the first 2 years? Anytime anybody had anything to say about him except for hallelujah, it was because bigotry is still with us as if we're still in Uncle Tom's cabin. We're going to have more of that. because the people with three names have not changed a whit since then. They will not admit that there's change. That's just a sidebar. Why do you keep calling him Hussein? What are you doing with that?
Well, just like I say, George Herbert Walker Bush, just like I say, William Jefferson Clinton, just like I say, Ronald Wilson Reagan.
I've never heard you say any of those things.
It's his name.
I just don't see why you have to keep sounding that note.
This is something that Percival Everett deals with in his great novel, James. Have you heard of irony, John? No, I know you have. I know you have.
I'm trying to figure out where in the ironic box to put that you keep calling him that, given that starts with a certain crowd that I don't think you consider yourself a part of. But what is that? I don't see Richard Milhous Nixon.
The right wing Islamophobic crowd. What's that guy's name? Rush Limbaugh crowd? No, I'm not a part of that.
Lyndon Baines Johnson. I don't say that.
No. This would be if Malcolm X's grandson were a political commentator.
Yeah.
This would be his reaction to the phenomenon of carpetbagger Barack Obama coming to Chicago and making himself into a black man and then running for president on the shoulders or the grave of Martin Luther King Jr. His attitude would be, fuck you. You don't represent anything like the struggle of resistance and so forth. I'm really from Chicago. And I ain't buying your shtick in your $500,000 a pop speech giving post presidency. Your Netflix project producing Silicon Valley, all your buddies slapping billionaire, flying on their yachts and their private jets and whatnot, and living a global elite life on the backs of my people because you're supposed to be black. My attitude toward you, Barack Hussein Obama, is fuck you. That would have been my Uncle Mooney's response. Y'all have to read the memoir to find out about Uncle Mooney. That would have been Uncle Mooney's response. It would have been Hussein, and it would have been dripping with irony when he said it. So I'm channeling that.
I respect that. I get that. I just wanted to be clear. But I see what you mean. That can come from a different place than, for example, Donald Trump or one of his pals saying it. Yes, I get that. Just wanted you to spell that out, especially because not all people might see that. And so just wanted to, I completely get what you mean. And as far as, you're right, the whole Kamala thing, she's, it's been forced on us. I would rather see her and her operation running the store than the alternative. I guess it just comes down to that. But opinions might differ in terms of how that was supposed to go. But I'd rather that than the other thing. But I definitely see what you mean.